everyone, and thank you for attending another one of Satori Software's Wednesday webinars. Today we're going to be talking about the Intelligent Mail deadline next week and talk about your last chance to grab those automation rates with that Intelligent Mail barcode. As we go throughout the presentation today, if you have any questions throughout the course of the presentation, feel free to type that into the questions bar in that GoToWebinar panel on the right-hand side of the screen. We're going to be answering all of those questions at the end of the session today. In addition, we are going to be recording this webinar today, and it'll be available on our website, and you'll be able to view that after the session today. It should be posted within a few days along with the slides, so you can have those as a reference. Also, at the end of the webinar today, when you close out of the webinar screen, you will be directed to a short survey, and we would appreciate it if you would fill out that survey because that allows us to improve the quality of our webinars going forward. So let's go ahead and take a look at our topic for today. Again, we're going to be talking about Intelligent Mail. And my name is Kim Mock, and I'm the Postal Product Specialist here at Satori. I've been working with Intelligent Mail for several years now, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have about this program. So first, we're going to talk about the deadline, which is this Sunday. It's January 27th, and we'll talk about a few reasons why you'll want to start moving towards that Intelligent Mail barcode there. We'll talk about some benefits that you can get from it, and also the different pitfalls that we have in there. We also will talk about the content of the Intelligent Mail barcode. We'll talk about all the different pieces and what you'll need to actually start generating that Intelligent Mail barcode either within software or on your own. Another question that we get fairly often is how do we create the Intelligent Mail barcode for small jobs? So a lot of people will print the PostNet barcode on just one-off envelopes or just for really short runs. So they're not really doing a pre-sort on their mailing. They're just mailing it the regular retail rates, but they still would want to create that barcode. And so there is a way to do that, and we'll talk about that today. We'll also talk about printing the Intelligent Mail barcode, and some of the cautions around the Intelligent Mail barcode have to do with how do I get this Intelligent Mail barcode to print on my printer without having to buy a lot of hardware. We'll talk about a couple of really innovative and creative uses for the Intelligent Mail barcode, some benefits that you can get by using that barcode, and we'll also have a full list of resources at the end that you'll be able to use as you're going throughout your program here today. So let's talk about the deadline. So the deadline for migrating away from the PostNet barcode is January 27th. That's this Sunday, so we've only got about 4 days left to use the last of our PostNet barcodes. Now the Intelligent Mail barcode is a complete replacement for the PostNet barcode and the Planet barcode. So the Planet barcode was the one that was used for tracking, and PostNet was the one that was used just for automation rates. So in addition to that, so anytime you are going to be claiming automation rates for your mailing, you will be required to use the Intelligent Mail barcode. You'll also need to use that Intelligent Mail barcode on qualified business reply mail. So if you're doing regular business reply mail, you can still use your PostNet barcodes. However, we do recommend that you use up the rest of that stock fairly quickly and start migrating over to the Intelligent Mail barcode for those. But for regular business reply mail, you can still use that PostNet barcode. But if you're using qualified business reply mail or QBRM, then you would be required to move over to this Intelligent Mail barcode for all of those pieces. In addition to the Intelligent Mail barcode, or the IMB, the Post Office has actually implemented a brand new barcode specifically for parcels. So the Post Office handles parcels slightly differently. They use different machines for sorting and routing those parcels. And so they've actually created a separate barcode entirely for parcel mailings. And that's called the IMPB, or the parcel barcode. And basically that will be required for just about any bulk parcel rate. So if you're using, for example, Parcel Select Lightweight or Parcel Post, or if you're using bound printed matter, then all of those type of mailings would require that Intelligent Mail parcel barcode for your bulk rates there. So let's talk a little bit about why you would actually want to use the Intelligent Mail barcode. There's a lot of caution about how much is this going to cost, what's this going to do for me, what's the benefit for me as a mailer to migrating over to the Intelligent Mail barcode. Well, the first thing, of course, is the automation rates. And based on the rates that are posted today that are going to be effective here on Sunday, the discount that you can get for automation pieces rather than just going to a machinable rate can be anywhere from 2 cents to almost 7 cents or more, depending on the piece that you're sorting and how many pieces you're sorting. So, for example, if you're just doing a mixed ADC sort, then it's going to be about 2 cents a piece for first-class letter. And then for if you're actually able to sort everything to a 5-digit container, which means you're going to have 150 pieces or more going to that 5-digit area, then you can save up to 7 cents a piece for first-class mail, or almost 3 cents for standard mail letters, which doesn't really sound like a lot until you start talking about your volumes. So, of course, 3 cents a piece if you're only sending about 50 pieces isn't very much. But if you're sending a really large volume over time, that's going to add up, and that's going to add up to real savings there. Another reason to start using the Intelligent Mail barcode is how the post office actually handles pieces that use that Intelligent Mail barcode. So any piece that has a barcode as it's sorted throughout the USPS mail system is going to be routed based on that barcode information. And so, of course, the post office can read just the text that's on the address there. So if you just include the city, state, zip code and the address line there, then they would be able to route that. However, by already printing that barcode on the piece for them, it's actually going to be more efficient. So it takes a little bit less work for the post office to process those pieces, which means that they're going to be processed more efficiently, which means they're going to be delivered a little bit faster. There are some additional services that are available that, and some of them cost a little bit extra, and some of them actually are free. So for example, anytime you're using the Intelligent Mail barcode, you can actually get free piece tracking data from the post office. So you don't have to have full service in order to get this tracking data. You would need to sign up with the post office so that they know how to get that tracking information to you. But you can get piece tracking data for any piece that has that Intelligent Mail barcode on it, and that's also true for the Intelligent Mail parcel barcode as well. Also, if you use Address Change Service, or ACS, to get your move update information, you can actually get all that information from the Intelligent Mail barcode. And there is a little bit of a cost for that. However, it's fairly reasonable. It's the best rate that you can get for ACS is available with that Intelligent Mail barcode. Now, of course, we always talk about the automation rates and everything. Now, the basic Intelligent Mail barcode, which is what we're going to talk about today, is going to be required on Sunday, on the 27th there. Now, the post office has announced that they really want all of their mailers to start using what they call full-service Intelligent Mail in 2014, and actually in January of 2014. So just 12 months away here, the post office is really wanting everyone to migrate over to full-service Intelligent Mail. Now, what does full-service Intelligent Mail mean? That means both the piece barcodes, so that Intelligent Mail barcode that goes on every single one of your mail pieces, and quite a few additional steps. Now, for those of you who are curious about full-service Intelligent Mail and want to get started on it, and we strongly recommend that you do, we actually do have an additional webinar called Intelligent Mail 201. That covers everything that you need to know about the full-service Intelligent Mail barcode program, and walks you through all the steps that you need to know in order to use that program successfully. So we won't go into full service too much for this webinar, but we do have that information already available for you. Let's talk a little bit about the differences between the PostNet barcode and the Intelligent Mail barcode. Now, both of these barcodes do include delivery address routing information. So what does that mean? That basically just means the zip code, the zip +4, and the delivery point information for the address of where this mail piece is heading. So all of that information was in the PostNet barcode. It's also included in the Intelligent Mail barcode. And of course, both of these barcodes can be used on letters and flats, and until Sunday here, both of them will be eligible for automation discounts. Now, the Intelligent Mail Barcode actually includes quite a bit of additional information that helps both you and the post office. Of course, one is that your mailer information is actually included in that barcode, which tells the post office where to send any additional information about this mail piece. So, for example, if you want to use the tracking piece or if you want to use ACS, which are both available with that Intelligent Mail Barcode, that mailer information tells the post office exactly where to send that data back to. Also, the Intelligent Mail Barcode has the opportunity to uniquely identify each piece. And basically what that means is each of these Intelligent Mail Barcodes is basically like a license plate for that specific piece of mail. And so the post office can actually specifically track that piece as it goes throughout the system. And that actually serves two purposes. One is that allows you to get all of the tracking and the other information back from the post office. So you'll be able to see that, okay, it came through Chicago on Thursday, and now it's heading to San Francisco, for example. In addition to that, the post office is actually collating all of this information about where pieces are entered, how they're scanned, how much time there is between each machine that processes the mail. And the post office is actually using all of this information to optimize its network. And you may have actually seen some changes in the way that your mail is being delivered as early as early 2012. And basically what happened is that's when the post office started really looking at this data, analyzing how much time it was between actions for each of the mail pieces, seeing how long it took to get from facility to facility, and even with machine to machine within a facility. And they were actually able to take that information, notify each of the facility managers, and they were able to actually streamline that entire process. And so we actually saw a pretty good spike in the on-time delivery and even early delivery as early as January and February of last year. So the post office is really taking a lot of information from this Intelligent Mail Barcode, and it's really winding up affecting the way that mail is getting delivered. Now, again, the post office does want to move everyone to full service, which gives them even more information that allows them to optimize their network, and they want everyone to be full service in 2012, and that's only available with the Intelligent Mail Barcode. So how does the post office get all of this information inside of this Intelligent Mail Barcode? And the way it does that is because the Intelligent Mail Barcode actually has 20 more digits of information in it rather than the PostNet barcode. So the PostNet barcode just included the zip code, the zip+4, and the delivery point. Well, the Intelligent Mail Barcode includes an additional 20 digits of information that allows them to uniquely identify and monitor each piece. And the nice thing is the way that the encoding structure for the Intelligent Mail Barcode is, it actually is not too much longer than the PostNet barcode, so you won't really have to do a lot of redesigning of your mail pieces in order to support this Intelligent Mail Barcode. There's only an additional additional 3 bars on that barcode, which equates to less than a quarter of an inch. So in most cases, you won't need to redesign your mail piece. So let's talk a little bit about what's actually in this Intelligent Mail Barcode. So the first bit of information that's available there is going to be your mailer information. This is going to be what's called a mailer ID, and it's either 6 or 9 digits, and that actually uniquely identifies you as the mail owner or the mail sender. It also includes information about how the post office is supposed to handle this mail piece. So it's going to identify whether this is first class or standard mail, whether you want to get information tracking about this piece or ACS information, and that helps the post office to manage that mail piece. And then, of course, it includes all that information from the PostNet barcode, that zip+4 and the delivery point. So let's talk a little bit about how that's broken out within the barcode. The first 2 digits in the Intelligent Mail Barcode is going to be the barcode ID, and usually that's just going to be 2 zeros, but basically that barcode ID identifies the same information about the mail piece that you would have in your optional endorsement line if you print it. The service type ID is one of the most crucial fields in the Intelligent Mail Barcode, and that actually identifies whether you're doing first class or standard mail, whether you want the tracking information, whether you're doing ACS, or any of the additional services that are available with the Intelligent Mail Barcode. Of course, you'll have your mailer ID that's part of the barcode there, and then that serial number or sequence number that's going to uniquely identify that mail piece. Again, that's kind of like your license plate for that piece of mail there. And then the last 11 digits is going to be the routing code, and that's all the information that was formerly in the PostNet barcode. Now, you will need to have all of these fields in order to generate the barcode. However, you can use just all zeros for that serial number for this year until you start moving over to full service. Let's talk a little bit about where you would actually get all of this information. So the first bit is going to be that PostNet information, and that's all going to be created in your CAS software. So if you already run your list through a CAS certified software product, like on any of the Satori software products, then that delivery information, the delivery point and zip +4 are all going to be generated during that CAS process. Now, the other things that you're going to need is going to be the service types that you're going to be claiming for this mail piece, whether you're sending a first-class mail or whether you're sending it standard mail, whether you want to get the tracking information for these mail pieces. All of that can be set in the pre-sort step during your software processes there. The sequence numbers, again, are optional right now, so you don't need to fill those out. However, most software products do allow you to set that sequence number. And then the last thing you're going to need is going to be your mailer ID. Again, that mailer ID uniquely identifies you to the post office, and basically you'll be able to sign up for one free from the USPS website. So if you go to the Gateway website, gateway.usps.com, the first thing you're going to see is there's going to be a sign-in page. And so if you already have an account, you can sign up, you can enter your user ID and password there and log in, or you can create a new account directly from this page. So you'll just enter that information and then you'll sign in. And after you've signed in, you'll see a list of a whole bunch of options here. And the thing that you're going to look for is that mailer ID link. And when you click on that mailer ID link, it's going to either tell you what your mailer ID is if you already have one, or if you don't have one, you can go ahead and request one. And you can request it all online, and usually it just takes a few minutes in order for that to be generated. And if you have any problems generating your mailer ID, feel free to contact Satori Software, and we'll be able to look into that for you. But usually that's a pretty straightforward process. So let's talk a little bit about creating this intelligent mail barcode if you're not pre-sorting. So creating an intelligent mail barcode when you are pre-sorting is fairly straightforward. You're going to be able to just run through your CAS software, run through your pre-sort software, and that intelligent mail barcode will be generated. However, if you have a small job, so say for example, if you're just sending out 20 envelopes or less, then you may want to create that intelligent mail barcode so that it looks like all the other mail, and then it will also get all of the benefits of intelligent mail, such as the tracking information. So in order to do that, what you'll do is you can go to the RIBS website at ribs.usps.gov. There's a link at the bottom of the screen here. And there's actually an encoder tool. And basically what it does is it allows you to enter in all the digits that you would need in order to generate that intelligent mail barcode. And then it will generate that barcode for you. So you can, I know this screenshot is fairly small, but you can enter in all of the different fields that are available there, and then it will generate that barcode for you, and you can save it as an image, or you can save out the encoded barcode and print it using Word or what have you. Now, if you don't want to use the intelligent mail barcode encoder tool that the post office has available, or if you have a job that's rather large and you don't want to have to encode each one individually, you actually can use your software to generate that barcode for you. So if you're using generally over 20 pieces or more, then you can actually run all of this information as a job. And so the post office does have some tools for batch IMB creation. However, they are fairly build your own. They're kind of require a little bit of work in order to get those generated properly. However, there is a way that you can actually use your existing pre-sort software to generate this intelligent mail barcode for your pieces that you're already sending at a retail rate. So you wouldn't actually need to do a pre-sort to do this, but there are some additional steps that you'll need to take. So if you want to do that inside of Bulk Mailer, what you'll do is you'll create a list inside of Bulk Mailer just like you would for any other pre-sort job. So you would import your addresses, and then you would run address correction to get all of your delivery point information. And then what you would do is you would go to that mail sort section, and you would open up that mail sort wizard and select that you are going to be doing intelligent mail. Of course, if you are going to be sorting the mail, you're going to be getting those automation discounts. Then you would select all of your sort options, and Bulk Mailer will automatically generate that barcode for you. However, if you don't want to sort your mail, then what you can do is you can create a template that's specifically just for encoding the intelligent mail barcode. And then the way to do that is first to select the class as first class, because anytime you're not pre-sorting your mail, you are going to be going at the retail rate. So you'll select first class as your piece type. You'll also select whether it's a letter or a flat. Then you'll follow through the rest of the wizard there, and then it'll ask you for your permit information. Now, in order to do this properly, to generate this intelligent mail barcode, you will need to select a meter permit. So if you don't have one, you can just create a dummy meter imprint permit there, and that meter permit will be used. And basically, what that means is you won't have to have the density requirements that you would for a permit imprint permit. And then you'll continue stepping through that wizard. You'll select the single piece option in your sort levels, and then you'll just run through the rest of the sort. You'll click Finish, and it'll generate those barcodes for you. And you don't even need to print out your postage documentation at that point, because you are going to be paying that retail rate there. So after you've run through that mail sort, there are going to be two fields that are going to be filled out inside of your bulk mailer file. There's going to be the intelligent mail barcode and the numeric intelligent mail barcode fields. Now, depending on your printing system, that'll determine which of those fields you're actually going to be using there. So let's talk a little bit about printing that intelligent mail barcode. So there are some printers out there that are pre-configured to already handle this intelligent mail barcode. They already know how to handle it. They have some internal software that's going to be creating and encoding that barcode for you. But most of the printers that are on the market right now do not support that natively. So you would need to ensure that the printer that you're using does support font printing. So basically that means that you can use any font that you have installed on your computer. You can print using that printer. Now, this is true with most of the laser and inkjet printers that are out on the market today, and just about any direct impression printer that's out on the market today. However, there are some older dot matrix printers and some other older printers that are out on the market that actually do not have the ability to support fonts. So if you're unsure whether your printer actually does support this, what I recommend is actually trying it out. Install your printer driver software along with Bulk Mailer, create that intelligent mail barcode, use the print mail wizard inside of Bulk Mailer to try and create a template, and then try printing that barcode and see what happens. Now, if it doesn't print properly, there's a couple things that you can do. One would be to contact Satori Software Support. They have a very comprehensive set of knowledge about which printers support the intelligent mail barcode and which ones don't. And they can also troubleshoot some issues. So maybe if there's just a setting that we need to turn on in order to make that happen on your printer, they can help you out with that as well. Now, if you would like to print the intelligent mail barcode, but you don't want to print inside of Bulk Mailer, we do actually install some fonts along with Bulk Mailer that you can use to print the intelligent mail barcode outside of Satori software products. You can also download those fonts for free on our website, and I've included the link here. So there are 3 fonts that we have available for you to use. There's a standard font called the USPS 4CB, and basically that's a font that the USPS created that just takes the encoded intelligent mail barcode and turns it into the bars that you see in the barcode. Now, Satori has actually created 2 additional barcode fonts that helps out with certain printing scenarios that can happen sometimes. So, for example, one case that can happen is if your bars are too thick, so you've got too much ink going onto the page, or if you have a very porous bit of printing material there, then we recommend that you use the SatBar Light font. And basically, that light font is specifically encoded to be within the specifications for that intelligent mail barcode, but it makes the bars as thin as it possibly can be. And basically what that means is that that allows for things like very porous paper, or if you've got, if the printer isn't set up exactly right and you've got too much ink going into those bars, then that SatBar Light can help mitigate that problem. Another font that we have available is called SatBar Narrow, and this narrow barcode is actually specifically encoded so that it shrinks down that intelligent mail barcode to the absolute shortest it can be and still pass the USPS specifications. This font is actually very useful when you have a very small area that you need to print your address block in. So for example, if you're printing to a postcard or if you're printing to a windowed envelope, then this font is very useful for you to be able to print into that condensed area without missing some bars off the edge of the mail piece there. So let's talk a little bit about how you would do this on a budget. Again, generally we don't want you to have to buy new hardware unless you absolutely have to. So you may already be printing a lot of your mail pieces using Word, so using a mail merge. And basically what you'll do in order to use the intelligent mail barcode with mail merge in Word is you'll export that IM barcode field, which is the encoded intelligent mail barcode field, out of bulk mailer. And then you'll use the mail merge function in Word, and of course that varies based on the version of Word that you're using. And basically what you'll do is you'll add that intelligent mail barcode field to your mail merge project. You'll highlight that field, and then you'll need to apply the intelligent mail barcode font there. And the way to do that is you'll highlight that field, and then you'll select one of the intelligent mail fonts that we talked about, so either the USPS 4CB, the SatBar Light, or the SatBar Narrow fonts there. And you'll also need to make sure that in Word that font is expressed in a 16-point size. And that 16-point size is going to match up with all the specifications that the post office needs to be able to read that barcode. Now, one of the problems that can happen is if you are using an older dot matrix printer, there can be a couple hiccups here. The first is some of the older printers do not support fonts, so you'll need to make sure that the printer that you're using does support the fonts there. Now, there's a couple things that to consider here. One of the things is that with dot matrix printers, especially if you're printing a lot of labels, you'll want to make sure that things are printing at a reasonable speed. So the first thing that you'll do is you'll, in bulk mailer, you'll actually be able to click on the address block, and you'll select a font for all of the text that's going to be what we call a printer font or a device font. And all of those, when you're in bulk mailer, are identified with a little printer icon next to the font name rather than a T for a true type font. So you'll want to use that printer font or the device font for all of the text on your mail pieces. That's going to speed up the printing on just the text. Now, of course, you will not be able to do that with the barcode itself, and so you will have to use a true type font for that, which can slow down the printing speed. And so unfortunately you will have to build in a little bit of additional time for all of that additional printing. And again, you want to use that barcode font with the 16-point size. So let's talk a little bit about some ways that you can use the intelligent mail barcode that make it a little bit more fun here. So the first thing is, depending on the type of mail that you're sending, then you'll want to consider where exactly you want to print your intelligent mail barcode. There's a couple places that you can print that barcode, and they match up exactly with the spaces where you would print your PostNet barcode. So you can print the barcode above your address, you can print it below the delivery address, or you can print it in that barcode clear zone, which is that lower right-hand corner of your envelope. Now, one of the things that we recommend is, especially for mail pieces that you don't want to look like bulk mail, you can actually print that barcode font down in that barcode clear zone, and it makes it look a little bit more like the post office was the one that actually applied that barcode rather than you as the mailer, which makes it look a little bit less like bulk mail. So it makes that piece look a little bit more personal. Now, there's a couple things that you can do with the intelligent mail barcode that are not available with PostNet. The first is you'll be able to get address updates with ACS. So if you want to get your move update information, using ACS rather than NCOA link, or if you want to use both, we actually recommend that you use both, then you can get those address updates using ACS with the Intelligent Mail barcode, which basically means you don't need additional information on the mail piece. It replaces all of the old ACS information. And then another thing that you can do, again, is you can get tracking information with IMB tracing, which is the tracking application from the post office. And if you're using a service provider, for example, Satori Software has a product called EasyTrack that allows you to track your mail pieces, and we can actually track that down to all of the stops that mail piece made as it went throughout the system. So you'll see on the map here that this mail piece started out in Trenton. It was sent down to the Egg Harbor for sorting, and then into Philadelphia, and then it was forwarded on to the final destination there. And that tracking information, you can get the raw data directly from the post office for free, or you can use a tracking service like EasyTrack that allows you to see that information and with a little bit more visual interest there. Another thing that's relatively new is the post office actually just uses that Intelligent Mail barcode as routing information. However, there are some programs that are out there that allow you to use that Intelligent Mail barcode as a mobile barcode. And so this is really exciting technology. So the post office actually has some incentives for mailers who are using some type of a mobile barcode, whether it's a QR code or whether it's the Intelligent Mail barcode using one of these programs, or there's some other barcodes that are out there like tag codes and things like that. Anytime you use a mobile barcode on your mail piece, during certain times the post office will actually have a sale on those mail pieces, and you can actually get a discount on your postage if you include those on your mail pieces. So, there's actually a program out there. We don't have an affiliation with them, but they're called MailScan, and basically what it does is it allows customers to use that Intelligent Mail barcode as a mobile barcode, and it works just like a QR code. So basically what will happen is the customer can download an application to their phone. So you'll see that iPhone that's listed here, and basically what happens is they use that application to scan the barcode that's on the mail piece, and then it sends them additional information. It could send them to a video, it could send them to a web page, it could send them a text message. There's all different types of things that can happen when they scan that barcode. And again, that barcode does qualify as a mobile barcode for those USPS discounts. And of course, it cleans up the mail piece by only needing that one barcode there. So let's talk about some resources that you may be interested in order for you to migrate over to this Intelligent Mail barcode. The first, of course, is that encoder and decoder tool that the post office has on their website. That included the link here on the RIBS page. Of course, if you're using Satori Software products, you may be interested in learning how you would migrate over to the Intelligent Mail barcode using Satori products. We have a comprehensive set of documentation, including videos and tech notes and everything that you need to get started using that Intelligent Mail barcode today. And I've included that link here. And we also have a specific tech note about how you would create that Intelligent Mail barcode without doing an actual pre-sort. And so there is a tech note that's available for that. In addition, we do have a tech note for how to do that Word mail merge. So if you're wanting to use Word to print out your Intelligent Mail barcodes, we have a tech note for that. And of course, you'll want to have access to those Intelligent Mail barcode fonts. If you already have Satori products installed on your machine, then that machine already has those fonts installed. However, if you want to get those fonts onto another machine, or if you don't have Satori Software products, those fonts are available for free on our website. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and open this up for questions. If you do have any questions, feel free to type them into that questions bar on the GoToWebinar panel in the right-hand side of your screen. And we'll be able to answer any of those questions there. In the meantime here, if you have any questions after the webinar today, feel free to contact our support department. They are very knowledgeable about Intelligent Mail, both basic and full service. They've been working with this for several years as well. And you can contact them anytime at support@satorisoftware.com, or you can call them directly out on our 1-800 line. It's 1-800-357-3020. And it looks like we're not getting any questions here today. Again, if you have any questions after the webinar, feel free to contact us. Let's see here. It does look like we're getting a couple questions in. So let's see. The first question, will older fonts work for all of our intelligent mail, like ADV, PN, ETN? And I'm not actually familiar with that font, so I would recommend actually migrating over to either the USPS font that we install with our products, or the Satori Creator fonts. I actually haven't worked with that font specifically, so feel free to contact me offline and I can give that a try. But I would recommend either using the USPS created font or the Satori created font. We've actually done extensive testing with both of them, and they seem to work very well in the USPS equipment. Older fonts can cause some trouble because they may not apply to the USPS specifications. The next question is, where can we get a copy of this webinar and when can we get it? So we are recording this webinar today, and we're going to post both the recording and a copy of all of these slides. Those are going to be available, they should be available on our website on Friday. So if you go to that same webinar page on our website, so if you go to Learn and Webinars, there's a link there for all of our archived webinars, and the recording and the presentation will be available there. The next question says, does bulk mailers submit anything to the post office while processing your mail lists? And we actually don't send anything to the post office until you actually say that you're going to submit the mailing, and that's only if you're using mail.xml. So if you're just running through a regular pre-sort, you can do that without letting the post office know that you're preparing that mail. So you can use the mail.xml to submit your postage paperwork, but you would have to do that as an extra step. Okay. So it looks like those are all the questions that we have for today. Again, feel free to contact us with any additional questions. And we do appreciate you taking the time to view our webinar today. At the end of this webinar, if you close out of the GoToWebinar screen, it will direct you to a short survey, and we'd appreciate it if you would take the time to fill that out. That's going to help us improve the quality of our webinars. And again, the recordings will be available on our website in just a few days. And we want to thank you again for coming today, and we hope you have a great Wednesday.